Well, hello there. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia in Canada. So if you did catch that last little bit, I did go on, but then I found out I had no camera. My camera actually, my phone had died. So, and anyways, it doesn't matter. But welcome to my Technique Tuesday. How did they do that? Episode. This is episode number 3, and this is where I do a technique every Tuesday. And basically, what I'm doing is we're going to start off very, very simple. I've decided to go back to those old ways of doing some techniques, and probably some that some of the new stampers have never ever seen, but some of the seasoned stampers go, "Oh my goodness, I forgot all about that." Particular technique. But I'd like to start off simple. Some of the techniques can get a little bit more involved, but you can turn a very simple technique into a more advanced technique depending on how you do it. Now, the technique that I'm using today is the kissing technique. And let me just, oh my goodness, I got a little, I don't know if it's a fruit fly or what it is here. Anyways, let's go on down. So I am doing the kissing technique. Like there's 3 or 4 or 5 different versions of the kissing technique, but we're going to do the basic one. And as I go along in this series, I'll be able to do other kissing techniques as well. This one actually uses a solid stamp. So what you would need to do is you need to take a stamp that is a more solid stamp. And I'm going to do a couple of them, and then you can kind of see what I'm doing with it. It's difficult because there's not as many solid stamps as there used to be. But anyways, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a solid stamp. And one of the most solid stamps that I could find at this point was this striped one, because it does have some clear on, uh, where it is a solid stamp on a certain thing. And then I'm going to take a background stamp. And actually, the background stamp that I'm going to use is Bouquet of Thanks. So if you're in our technique class that's this coming weekend, we'll be using this, but we're not using this technique. So you're getting an added bonus. You're going to be doing another technique. So what the sheet does state, and I'll go over this, but again, these will be uploaded by tomorrow morning. This could be uploaded sooner. I'm not sure. I have the instructions here. This is for this particular style of the kissing technique. You want to put a tiny little bit of a sample over here, and I can put a sample over there. And then I am going to show a picture of one of the cards that I'm doing. And then I'll give you the measurements for that particular card. Plus, I'll also give you notes depending on what kind of stamps that we're using and that sort of stuff. Okay, so this is the most solid stamp that I could find at this point. I did find a couple of them. So I'm taking some Petal Pink, and this is a photopolymer stamp. So I need to use my, oh my goodness, that little fly is going to drive me nuts. All right, so I'm inking it up with a light color, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this one, and I'm going to ink it up with a darker color. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to go in, and I'm just actually going to use it right on this one right here. So let's just show you how that works. So I'm just taking this, inking it up with the light one, and then I'm just going to go on to this. Now, this one happens to have a bit of a design on it, so then you're going to see how it works. So what it's doing is you're going and you're kissing the other stamp. So this kind of gives you an idea, and you can kind of see some designs on there. And then I thought, wow, we've got that. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to start by starting on a card. We are going to then, I'm going to show you another thing that you can do with this particular one. You're going to need your chamois close by. Remember to say hello when you're here. So now this is not a reversible stamp, but it can be used as reversible stamp. So I'm actually going to put the stripes down. And then what I'm going to do is I have cut out my teacups. Now you notice they're all one way, but if I use the opposite side of this, we are actually going to have to, we had to flip this, right? So I'm going to just flip both the dies, and this, the stamp of course is flipped. So let's see, let's start with our petal pink. And then what I'm going to do, now I'm going to do this totally different, and something that you're going to go, oh, how could you use that stamp? Well, this stamp here is from the Happiness Abounds. And this is that Hues of Happiness. This is that stamp camp that we're doing at the end of July. So I'm going to take this, and this is the Calypso Coral. I'm just going to ink this, and we're going to use this as a background stamp. So I'm just going to come in here, ink that. Oops, see that moved. So I don't want that to happen. It does slide around, so you got to be really, really careful. So I'm just going to ink that up again. Hello. All right. Now, like I say, go down and go up because it does slip around a little bit. So it's just going to go like that. And you watch how this is going to work. So I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. Now remember, these are all reversed. Let's just take this one off. Oh, of course my dog wants to go out. Now see how that's gone ahead and put that design onto that card piece. So this is, like I say, the kissing with a bit of a twist, right? So let's just ink that up again. I need 2 of these teacups, so just going to go down, straight down. And you know what? I think what I can do is I can move it around on that flower, and we're just going to go down. I got to see if I can get on there. The beauty of this is a photopolymer stamp, and that's how you can get a reverse stamp always with a photopolymer stamp. Not intended that way, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. So there's our second one. So you can see how that has actually worked. I just want to get this cleaned off here. So we've got that. Now, should I make my card first? Yeah, I can go ahead and make the card. And if we've got time, I'll go ahead. Oh, I know. You know what? When I first went on, my phone was dead. And I don't know how that happened, but in any event, it happened. So, all right. So I am going to go ahead and let's make this card. So this will be my sample that I'll do. I'll cut it out and I'll put my sample there. And then I have some petal pink cardstock. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Let's fold into the mountain and let's burnish that with our bone folder. Now, I also have some basic white, and I'm going to layer that down onto my card. Oops. Okay, let's see. Well, if your glue doesn't work, all you have to do is go in, and I probably don't even have, no, I probably don't have a paper clip in here. Oh yeah, I do. And I just sort of prime this with this end here. There we go. And now it'll work. This is a fairly new one, so let's just put that in there. A lot of glue on there, so we want to make sure that it doesn't ooze out on the sides. There we go. Hello. All right. So then I also have a piece of this designer series paper. Now this is from the Teacup designer series paper, but I wanted the petal pink side. So I'm just going to actually put that on there as well. Like I say, we've got to make a card when we do these techniques, right? And I want to show you another one, so hopefully it'll work out okay. And then I used the scallop contour dies, and I'm going to actually put that there. And then I also cut a petal pink one. Now I have to decide whether or not do I want to stamp on that? Do I want to do whatever with it? So let's go ahead. We have one teacup that's going to go like this. We have the other one that's going to go like this. And now let's see. I want one to go like this. You know what? I'm wondering. Well, we'll just put some words on there. So I've got a few options. I could come in with my my Calypso Coral, and I could put that on there. I could go in and also stamp on here. So I've gone ahead and stamped the striped one. Could go like that. But I think what I kind of like is to have this on there. So I'm just going to go in. I could have used an adhesive sheet, but what I did before this live, I just went and cut a bunch of stuff, and I thought, well, we'll see what goes, but I kind of think this will work okay. Can you see that pesky little fly down here? I don't know what it is. Can't have fruit flies yet. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and let's put that onto this part here. We should let that sit for a bit. I'm just going to let that set. Now, I also need to I want to put some ribbon around here. And the best ribbon I thought was the Pale Papaya ribbon. However, it doesn't, with the Pale Papaya ribbon, it's not quite the right color. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my dark petal pink blend. I have a dark here. There we go. And I'm just going to color this up. Now, there's that other ribbon that's in the annual catalog that says it's a petal pink, and it's kind of like a faux suede ribbon. And it's just not quite the right, because I'm using the Calypso Coral, that it doesn't quite work with it. All right, so that'll work. And I'm actually just going to put this around. Meant to put it underneath there, but I think I'll put it around here. I'm going to need some more ink on there. So I really wanted to put it around the designer series paper, but that's okay. I didn't, so we'll have to just improvise with it. I'm going to have it come over here like this. I think I think I'll just tie that again like I've been doing lately. Just put this. All right, let's go back to the card. Let's put this die. These teacup dies are so cute. I played with them all weekend. And I'm liking them. And you know what? They were not on my radar at all. There we go. All right, so let's put this. This is going to go around here. So I think I'll just come in here and we'll just sort of attach this just a little bit here. And I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to tie it in a bow. I would have if I'd done it all the way around. There we go. All right, so now I can go and I'm going to just glue this one on. Teacup there. We're going to put this one on with dimensionals. Let's see, what have we got here? Those ones on with dimensionals. And then we can put this one back on with glue, and we'll tuck it underneath. Or do we want to tuck it over top? Not sure. I think we'll do it over top. So I'll just put a dimensional there, put some glue on this side. Oh, I didn't even think about my embellishments on this card. All right, so you've seen how that is now, that's the part of the kissing there. I'm just going to actually come across here and let's just put that. This is the essential twine. I'm just going to tie this around here. It's not really going to show that much, but it'll be okay. Just going to tie this in a knot and then it'll work okay. My goodness, there we go. Like that, and let's just tie it in a knot. All right. So, like I say, with this kissing technique, this is one way of doing it. There are quite a few different ways, and they'll be coming further on down the road. Because to me, I don't want to do all the kissing ones together. All right, that's going to go on to this part here with dimensionals. It's not very tight, so I'm going to use a dimensional right on there. And I'll take your pick tool. So did you want to see another one done with the kissing technique? I actually have another card that I could do. So we've got that there. Now we need to put some embellishments there. And I always find with this petal pink, I really like to use these ones. So, oh, and you know what? I don't even have the words on here yet. So I think I'm going to go in and I'll use the Happiness Abounds. Do I want to do it on there? Yes. I think I'll do a happy birthday on here. And this stamp set itself has some amazing sentiments on it. I really like how it works with the sentiments. So like I say, this used the Hues of Happiness. And got a very quiet bunch today. Let's just put this here. Now I could do that or put it onto the petal pink. I don't know which one I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on both of them. And I'll see which one I want to use. Maybe the white. Okay. Let's just use a chevron. And then I'm also going to come in and I am going to take my bone folder and I'm going to curl it a bit. And then I can just put it across here. So we're just going to come in with one. Let's see. We'll use the small dimensionals. It's just going to go on there. And then one here, and it's going to float. So just like this. And then let's come in and let's put these dots here. You know what? I'm going to use these. There. And another one right down there. And then for the inside of the card, we could just turn around and, oh, let's see. We could put this here And I happen to have one of these already stamped. Let's go ahead and we can just put a teacup in there, and I'll put that in. I'll attach that later on. Let's go and put this here. Just attach that. Oh, thank you. Now, I really wanted to show you this other one, just to show you different stamps that you could really use for this kissing technique. So I think I'm going to do it. How much time have I used? Oh, it's not too bad. I'm just going to go in and let's just put that one in like that. I've got my arrow on my screen and I keep thinking I've got a black mark on it. All right. So there's card number 1 using the kissing technique. So I'm dying to see your samples. There we go. So like I say, it gives you all different sort of looks because that was white paper, right? All right, so that's that card. So then I thought, well, we could turn around and and I've got a bunch of these. We can use, a lot of times for a solid background, you would use like a big stamp one. So I am going to use, whoops, I am going to go ahead and use this Bottled Happiness one. So that's this stamp set here. And of course it comes with the punch. So let me show you on here how we're going to do the technique. So let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. All right. So I want to stamp this. This will show you another way that you can turn around and do this. This happens to be the Starry Sky. So I want to come back in with my scrap piece of paper. We are going to, what was I going to use with this? Oh, right, this one. Okay, this happens to be the flower stamp. No, we're going to use this one. We're just going to use this flower stamp that is part of the stamp. This stamp here, this one actually. I'm going to stamp the bottle. I'm going to, whoops, we want to get it all stamped. I'm going to stamp it off, quickly put it into this stamped here. Whoops, and it just slipped. And then we're just going to put it right like that. Now I'm going to have to do another one because it didn't stamp properly. So let me just ink this up. Now, sometimes, as it says in the instructions, you may have to huff on it, and that's fine. You may have to. Now, I want to make sure that this doesn't slide straight down and up. And just like so. So see, it gives kind of a different look onto the bottle. And that's not what I wanted to do. So we're going to start again. I wanted to, let's try this stacked stone one instead. So let me go in. I want to just clean this off. Let's try it again. The stacked stone, I'm just going to, I haven't even taken this out of, I haven't even done anything with it. And this, we're just going to ink that up. Let's ink up our bottle. Stamp it off. I know my hands were covered this afternoon. Go in here. Let's stamp here. And then let's put this here. And this is going to give a different type of a bottle. There we go. All right. So now I want to make sure that's good and clean because I've got an idea I want to do with this. So, all right. Now I'm going to come in with my bottle punch. I haven't played with this one as much as I thought I would have. And we're just going to go in and punch that out. Now I could have used some of these other ones, but I've got this. Now also, let's see what else have I got for these cards. Just bear with me. I had it right here. There we go. Oops. All right. So let's bring in the rest of this card. So I have some thick basic white, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Let's go in and use our bone folder again. So like I say, the kissing technique is a really cool technique, but you can do so many different things with it. Like I say, we used, whoops, that's all right. We're going to cover that up. See, I have it all over my hands. So this is the Starry Sky. So what I've done is I've run it through the Type Worn embossing folder. So let's go ahead and put that onto the front of this card. When you use these dark blues, they tend to get onto your card base. They also get all over your hands. Oh my goodness, did I not cut that right? You know what? I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't do. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to cut off a bit. I know, cringe. So I'm going to run it through with my glue. And I just take that apart and I'll clean that with my rubbing alcohol. Oh, I could have put my silicone mat on there too. That would have worked. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on here. So I guess this worked out to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then I've got this. This is another scallop contour that I'm going to use. And now what I want to do is I want to come in and let's see. I am going to use some Daffodil Delight. And I know I've got that blue one open, but I need it. And I'm going to use this flower design, this one right here. Like I say, I just want to show you how this works with, and I think this is how it goes. So we're just going to put that onto there. I love yellow and blue together. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to use, I'm going to come in with this and take this off. And now I'm going to use the Starry Sky. And when you line this up, what you want to do is, and I'm going to have to try to get more over top of it. You want to line up these little flowers into the center of, you know what? I did that wrong. Should have done it the opposite way. Well, I'm going to have to wing this because, whoops, oops. Yeah, this is better if you put this one down first. I'm going to show you that, how that works on the opposite side. I didn't do it bad with it, but I'm going to show you on the opposite side. So come in with this color first. And I knew this. Let's move that out of the way. Oh, look at that, blue all over. Let's come in with the Daffodil Delight. And it's much easier to line up this way. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to come in and make sure that those, oops, put that, oops, looks like it's upside down. There we go. So you're just going to move those so that the little centers go on the inside of these flowers, like so. Much better. All right. So the stitching is going to be on the wrong side, but we'll be okay with that. And then this is just going to go here. And then we're going to put our sentiment on there with a bit of a ribbon. So let's see, what sentiment do we want to use on there? Overflowing with happiness. Let's use that one. Like I say, I haven't used this as much as I thought I would have used, because it was one of those ones that was in my first lot that I went, oh, I love that stamp. Oh, you know what? Let's use this one. All right. We're going to put that on with Starry Sky. Remember, with blues, they do tend to get all over the place. And I'm not touching that. You've noticed that. Oops, let's turn that over. Down and up. There we go. I'm going to let that dry really well, and we'll put the rest of this card together. All right, let's put this on with dimensionals. Do you ever have that on the back of your card? You've got lots of different... I know my dimensionals are here. There we go. You have little surprises on the back. It didn't line up bad on that side, but it is much better on this side. Hello. All right. So, like I say, this is the kissing technique, right? Whoops. Look at what I did. I just ran. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to get this blue all over the place. All right. So, let's come in with our Take Your Pick tool. Well, we would come in with that. All right. So, let's do that. I love navy and yellow together. And so the Starry Sky gives a different type of a blue in there completely. So let's just go there. We're going to put this on with dimensionals as well. Like so. Just like that. I'm going to fussy cut this one out. I am going to get that blue all over the place. I can just see it coming. All right, so let me just grab my scissors here. All right. Like I say, we're just going to fussy cut this part out. Have you seen that one die set with the fantastic words, and then they have dies to cut out all the words, all the sentiments? Really nice. Used it actually quite a bit. All right. So just going to put that over there. That's going to go on there. And then what I want to do as well is with this ribbon here. This is the white bias ribbon. I am just going to come in and let's color that with our, I think the light Daffodil Delight will be enough. You can see I started coloring this one with something else. Let's just cut that one off. Right. And then let's just cut, no, the dark is going to be the best. Oops, this one's almost dead. Always with your blends, you can tell that they start fraying on the brush end, and then you know that you're running out of ink. You can usually use the other end as well. It's quite a vibrant yellow. Need about 9 inches for a bow. Okay. The nice thing about using blends on this ribbon is that it stops the static, because this ribbon is so staticky. But as soon as you use the blends on there, the static disappears. So, all right, so let's just bring that down. goodness, it's not working as well as what it usually does. Let's do that. And then, of course, your bow you want to tie tight. That's why I always have a little bit of color on there. So let's do this. Let's put that there. This there. And then, of course, we'll have to put some embellishments on there. All right, so let's go in with a glue dot. So, are you going to try the kissing technique? Like I say, this is one of the, just want to put that off that way, and then I'm going to put this dimensional right there, and then glue on the other side. There, we're going to put that right about like that. Oops, I forgot to take the backing off of that. Ugh. There we go. And then, of course, we have to come in with some embellishments. And I'm thinking that these in colors, even though that this is a pale papaya, it's going to work. So it's going to work on there. Yeah, it's going to work great. It's amazing how you can use all these different things that, like this was intended for pale papaya, is what these dots are. But honestly, I really think it looks more like Daffodil Delight, right? There we go. And if we want, we could do something on the inside. But you know what? I'm going to leave this like this and decide what I'm going to put on it afterwards. Okay, so I want to go over that again. So what we did was the kissing technique. You will, tomorrow, I will have a download this ready for you. I just have to put in, there is a video link to this video. You're also going to get the instructions on how to do it. What I'd like to see you do is take that one that you have a sample of, and we could put a sample right there so that it gives you an example of how the sample is. Whatever card I decide to use, if I use this card or if I use this other card, it's interesting to see which one to use because they're totally different. But I really wish I could put both cards on there. In any event, this is where I actually took, this was a white piece of paper, basic white. I colored it with petal pink, and then I stamped it with the Hues of Happiness onto this flower. And that's how I got those. And then this one, I stamped off the Starry Sky, and then I also used the stacked stone stamp pad and did that on there to give that look. Like I say, there's lots of different ways of doing the kissing technique, but to me, they're a totally different technique in itself. So let's just go back here. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope, don't forget, give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate that. As far as getting the link for the technique, you need to join my Facebook group. I will make sure that I put that link in the video and also with the other things. So with the Facebook's lives as well. So anyways, you guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow for mystery stamping at 3 o'clock Pacific time. And have a great night. Bye for now.